Hello, my friends. Kiwi Christian here. Back again. Fantastic. Been having a lot of trouble with my computers, and I've had a bit of depression lately. So, yeah, forgive me. All right, let's get right back into it. Let's answer some questions. I think questions are a wonderful way for us to build our faith and to grow and to find out why we believe what we believe. I think the church is doing a terrible disservice today by teaching people or telling people what to believe, but they're not telling you why. It's one thing to know what you know, it's another one to know why you know it, why you believe it. So let's get right into some questions. Have a look. What will happen to the Jewish people who reject Jesus? Well, I've got a hypothesis. I believe that when a person is born, and I could be completely wrong, when a person is born, their name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life, i.e., who goes to heaven. Right, so-and-so is born, right, write his name down, or her name, or its name. And when we reject Jesus, now what does it mean, reject? We reject that he is who he claimed to be, and we reject what he did for us. Just like you can reject a present or a gift that you don't like. When you reject Jesus, then God blots your name out from the Lamb's Book of Life, i.e. your name is removed. Which means, right, no more entrance into heaven. Now, why do I believe that? Well, in Revelation, it says that, your names will be blotted out. How can your name be blotted out if it was never there to begin with? Excuse me, indigestion. So how can your name be blotted out from the Lamb's Book of Life if it was never there in the first place? Now, the Bible is very clear that we do not lose our salvation. So that's the only explanation. Now, people say, what about natives in the jungle? What about babies? They've never heard of Jesus, so why would a loving God send them to hell? We can't. People have come up with all sorts of things, but as to try to explain that, God is fair, God is just, but that goes against what the Bible says, that you must be born again. You must believe that Jesus is the I am. Obviously, these people in the jungle or mentally deficient people like me, babies, infants, they've never heard of Jesus, or they can't comprehend Jesus, so they cannot accept or reject that he is the I am. So their names are still there because they haven't rejected Jesus. The people in the jungle, what have you, have never even heard of the person Jesus. So they can't reject him. They also can't accept him, but they can't reject him. And you go to hell, I believe, for rejecting Jesus. So that seems to fit quite nicely. Are there some flaws in that hypothesis? Sure, but I think it's the best explanation. So the Jews are still God's chosen people. And if your country supports Israel, I think God will bless your country, because sure, they've rejected Jesus, but they're still God's chosen people. They have chosen to reject Jesus. They know about him. They've rejected him. So I'm afraid they're going, I hate to say it, they're going to hell. Don't attack me, attack the Bible. Wow, 3 viewers. Wow. I haven't had 3 viewers for a while. I'm lucky if I even get one. Now, I answered another question on Quora. As a Jehovah's Witness, do you count your time on here as part of your ministry? I'm not a Jehovah's Witness. I loved them, but I'm not one. I never was one. Never was one? Yeah, never was one. Now, and this is my answer. So the question was, as a Jehovah's Witness, do you count your time on here as part of your ministry? Now, without looking at the answers, I said, I've also got a terrible sore throat that I've had since about November. So, yeah. Without looking at the answers, I think they will automatically deny having to keep track of time. But it's a lie, and Jehovah's Witnesses, as we know, are allowed to lie. They're told that they're allowed to lie. Most of them, they're set up into different classes. You've got your average Jehovah's Witness, you've got a publisher, you've got a something else. If you choose to be a publisher, then you've got a set number of hours you must fulfill in your proselytizing. Oh, that's a difficult word. That would be a good hangman or Scrabble word. How much would you get for a Scrabble word? Proselytizing. Anyway, you are required to turn in a certain amount of hours each week. You have little time cards, and they get very mad when you don't fill them in. So is an online ministry classed in your, time? I'd say it is. Do I have any proof of that? No. So, yeah. Yeah, there we go. The requirements for special pioneers shall be 175 hours and 50 back calls per month. For regular pioneers, 150 hours. And for company publishers, let us make a quota of 60 hours and 12 callbacks and at least one study a week for each publisher. So they are required to hand in timesheets. I used to have a go at them and say, why does Jehovah need to keep track of your time? Sorry. I wondered where that went to. I could have done with that yesterday. But yeah, the Jehovah's Witnesses are a very tight, organized cult, and they want to keep their members as busy as possible. As busy as possible to try and keep this working, focused solely on the watchtower so they don't have time to think. So this person has come back. Thank you for your effort. This is exactly the honest answer I should have received from a J-dub. Do not expect an honest answer from a Jehovah's Witness, my friend. As I said, they are allowed to lie. Now, whilst you're crying and moaning, why are you saying that? Let me quote for you. Very important to back up what you say, guys. Here we go. So, the Watchtower informs its followers that they are not, quote, under obligation to divulge truthful information to people who are not entitled to it. And you can find that in the book Insight on the Scriptures, Volume 2, page 245. It's funny. They're not under obligation to divulge truthful information to people who are not entitled to it. Who gets to determine if you're entitled to know the truth or not? What that basically means is that whenever you disagree or speak up against the Watchtower, then you are an opposer, you are an enemy of Jehovah, and you don't deserve to know the truth. And in the Watchtower, 1960, June the 1st, page 352, I quote, "For the purpose of protecting the interests of God's cause, it is proper to hide the truth from God's enemies. This comes under the term war strategy." And of course, if you are an enemy of the Watchtower, then you're an enemy of God. So yeah, very interesting there. What else can we answer? Is it true that as Christians and human beings, when we draw our last breath one day, the only thing that will matter is if our name was written in the Lamb's Book of Life? Yes. There's no second chances, guys. Sorry, just trying to find out. Do Jehovah's Witnesses allow members who have a history of pedophilia, suspected or proven, go door to door or give Bible studies to the public in their homes? I think they do. I don't know. Of course, the Watchtower does have a history mirroring the Catholic cult of hiding and covering up child abuse. They spent over $10 million in a lawsuit because of that. So yeah. Can Latter-day Saints drink beer? No. Now, I sort of go on about the Mormons and how terribly wrong they are, and they are, but in many ways the Mormons, or the Latter-day Saints, put us Christians to shame by their relatively clean living, etc., etc. They don't drink alcohol, they don't smoke, and both things get a thumbs up from me. But unfortunately, Joseph Smith, the founder of the Mormon religion, was an alcoholic. So, yeah. Okay, I think the last question, maybe for today, because my throat's getting a bit sore. Were we all angels in heaven like the Mormons say? No. Angels are a completely different kind of being. A different creation. Like humans, animals, insects, birds, angels. We were never angels. We will never be angels. We have to hold our tongues when we go to funerals. Oh, and little Joey now is now an angel in heaven. I'm sorry, no, they're not. So, no. When polygamy was practiced in Mormonism, how many wives was a man allowed or supposed to have? I think as many as they wanted. Joseph was married to over 40 women and young girls. Brigham Young was. Just looking around for questions to answer. Remember, you can email your questions to me at calvarystudy@gmail.com. How did Joseph Smith restore the gospel? He didn't. He invented his own. The Mormons believe that they have restored Christianity, that there was a great apostasy and Christianity disappeared from the face of the earth. That's a lie because they cannot prove it. You cannot prove that any Mormon teaching was ever taught outside of Mormonism. Trying to find some more questions, my friends. Last one. What is the logic behind Jesus' refusal to be touched or clung to by Mary in John 20, verse 17? I was listening to a message by the late, great Dr. Walter Martin, a great apologist, and he brought this up. Let me increase the font size because I'm an old man. There we go. Jesus said unto her, Touch me not, for I am not yet ascended to my Father, but go to my brethren, and say unto them, I ascend unto my Father and your Father, and to my God and to your God. What this means is, it's not don't touch me, it's don't detain me. Because I haven't finished what I needed to do. You know, go away, woman. I got work to do. That's basically what that means. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I haven't been on in a couple of weeks, as I said, computer problems, and about a depression. Do you ever have those weeks where every single thing goes wrong, and where Satan reminds you of your past? So when Satan reminds you of your past, we have to remind him of his future. Anyway, I've got church to go to soon, and I want to get ready spiritually. So wherever you are in the world, and today is Sunday, I pray that you're having a fantastic day, that the Lord is blessing you mightily. I mean, it's every day above ground is a good day, because God can take us out of this world just like that. Do you know where you're going when you die? Oh, a bit of a sunshine here. There we go. What, sunshine in New Zealand? You better believe it. I know where I'm going. I'm going to be with the Lord. Is that because I'm good? Are you kidding? If the Lord gave me what I wanted, I would be in hell right now. I'm only going to heaven because I've been forgiven, that I'm saved. Is it because I've earned it? No. If the Lord gave me what I deserved, I would be in hell right now, and deservedly so. So I'm just going to leave you with this last passage, which is one of the passages that I recited to my friend Reg, who died this year or last year. I can't even remember. He was my elder. He was my friend. He was my second rock. He always told you what you needed to hear, not what you wanted. So few people doing that these days. If your church is not telling you what you need to know, get out. If they don't preach on hell or sin or alcohol or short skirts or all these other things that you need to know, get out. I misread terribly, but he's with his wife now. Anyway, this is the verse. It's found in the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 4. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain. For the former things are passed away. A friend of mine visited his parents' graveside, and on the tombstone, I had to count that, was 4 words: forever with the Lord. What a wonderful thing to have, to be forever with the Lord. Anyway, before I start blubbering, look after yourselves and God bless you.